Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So I want to talk about 7 types of women to avoid. Now, I have done this video before, and it's really a good video. The thing is, I was upset. It's like, I can't do another one of those. But then it occurred to me that I need to do a 2025 edition. Perhaps I need to do an edition every season, like the 2025 summer edition, because the women are very mercurial. They're chameleons. They adopt whatever's going on around them and then act like that's their thing. So let's get into it. Now, number 1, the narcissist, also known as Miss Spotlight. What we're talking about here are narcissistic personality traits. This is a person that needs constant validation. She's constantly checking with you. Is my hair okay? Do I look okay in this outfit? It just goes on forever. Now, what you're really doing is you're just fulfilling the role in like an imaginary movie that's going on in her life. So you're just a prop. You're just a character in a play. You're not a real human being that has real feelings and real needs and needs to be compromised with. You're just one of her things, right? You're just an object. If you stop validating her, she'll replace you. She'll attack you and she'll replace you. Think of her as like streaming a really bad movie or a really bad series. You're just going through it to get to the end. So what you need to do is you need to realize what you're dealing with up front and understand that this is gonna bankrupt your soul and your wallet. So this is definitely a woman to avoid. Number 2, the drama queen. This is borderline personality disorder. And the behavior is intense love bomb. You're just the most important thing in the world to her. And then the next moment, you're just like Hitler. So it just vacillates between these 2 extremes. Hence the term borderline personality disorder. You'll never know what's going on. Okay. You'll never know if you're standing on solid ground. You'll never know if she's going to be saying something like, wow, I love you and I'm really glad I have you in my life, or I hate you and all men are evil and I keyed your car. But you're never going to know. And it doesn't even have anything to do with what's going on in the relationship, how you behave, how you interact. It just has to do with her internal emotion. This is like owning a fireworks factory. It's really exciting until it just blows up in your face. Number 3, the eternal victim. Now, this is prevalent through our society because it's a victim hierarchy. It's a victim competition. Whoever can portray themselves as the biggest victim gets the most consideration and is called upon the least to sacrifice or to take on responsibilities. So it's like it has become a social trend in our society. Now, I'll tell you, personally, that kind of stuff never flew in my house. If I said, oh man, these people are giving me a hard time, my family would tell me to shut up and stop feeling sorry for myself. So understand how this appeals to the personality. Look, life is hard. Sometimes we fall down. Sometimes we're not ready for the things that we have to face. And it would be really nice if you could just blame the world, if you could just imagine that there's this cadre of imaginary people out there that are aligned against you. They don't care. They don't even know who we are. Avoid this woman at all costs. This is like being someone's therapist. She doesn't need a boyfriend. She doesn't need a partner. She needs like customer support hotline. I've done a lot of work in that area. You'll recognize her too. Now, something I want you to be aware of, these are not solid types. The women, they pick and choose. They coordinate their personality like it's an outfit. They want to match up the colors and get the things to go together right. They take a little piece of this and a little piece of that. So you've met these women and you've met various combinations and mixtures of these types of women. Moving on. Number 4, the status junkie, the consumer junkie. This is a woman who determines her worth based on her bank account, based on her partner's bank account, based on what she imagines how other people perceive her. This is a huge trend in our society today. Think about the idea of a woman holding her cell phone and speaking into it and recording the video and talking about what she likes and doesn't like in the men in society. That's what they're consuming. That's what they're watching. So that's what they're doing themselves. This is a materialistic, compulsive personality. Like you might think, oh, this person's very ambitious and they want to get ahead. It's like, no, that's not what's going on. They have no internal worth, no internal status, no internal validation. And it's all brought to them through material. And a great part of the world just agrees with them. The idea of being this perfect consumer and you can have anything you want the moment you want it. Think about what that does to a personality. Think about what that would do to a child. Why do you think 60, 70% of America's population is obese? The women are in really bad shape too, right? You never thought that women with such a low sexual market value would act so entitled. She doesn't want love. She wants a sponsorship deal. Okay? You're not a man. You're a credit card with legs. You're a walking ATM machine to her. Life is a giant video where she looks at things like purses and vacations and cars and houses, and then, determines worth based on those things, based on her desires. You need to avoid this type of a woman. She will drain you. And when you run out of resources and you run out of energy to take care of her, she'll condemn you and she'll destroy you and she'll leave you. She won't just leave you. She'll destroy you and then she'll leave you. Moving on. The perpetual child. This is the entitled princess, somebody who's been taken care of their entire life. It is the female equivalent of the Peter Pan syndrome. It is emotional immaturity. These people, they can't handle responsibility. They dodge accountability, and they're always just trying to figure things out. You've lived with people like this. This isn't just a woman. These are people who slam doors behind them. They don't close doors. They don't close cabinets. They don't turn out lights. They just walk around, and everything that's behind them, they just kind of slam it, or they just kind of ignore it. It creates a horrible kind of internal interpretation of the world. Everything becomes like, oh, shoot, I don't want to have to get up and turn off the light. Oh, shoot, I don't want to have to close that door behind me. So everything becomes this burden that they don't want to take on. And you can see how this leads to the whole eternal victim mindset. But look, who wants to leave childhood? As a kid, you're sitting around and you're thinking, wow, this sucks. I can't wait to grow up. And the adults are looking at you and saying to you, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like this full set of responsibilities, coming up short all the time. People always giving you a hard time for what you haven't done for them, right? And the kid's like, no, I don't like anybody telling me what to do. And it's like, well, welcome to adulthood, because nobody's going to be telling you what to do. But if you don't do the things you need to do, you're going to die. Your life is just going to go down the drain. So we literally have entire segments of our population. They just don't like that whole adult thing. They just want to sit around like a petulant child with their arms folded and a bad attitude on their face. So you can recognize this. And the thing is, it's kind of cute. The men see that and they're like, oh, isn't that cute? She's just like a little princess. And it's like, that's not going to be cute when she's keying your car, throwing your clothes out, destroying credit rating. It's not going to be cute then. And it's not going to be cute after you've been with her for a little while and the makeup has come off. Moving on. The social justice warrior, the crusader. We're talking about weaponized morality here. We're talking about virtue signaling, and we're talking about the inversion of your traditional functional values. And you're going to notice this. You have noticed this. And it's not just a female behavior. It's a societal, cultural behavior. And it has to do with inverting the values, the existing values of the culture, of the society, of the group, of the company, of the corporation, of the religion. It has to do with taking those and turning them on their head. And what you're seeing, the example of this that you're seeing, is you're seeing people like walking into meetings late and acting like this is totally normal. You're seeing people coming into meetings, group meetings, and going in on their personal stuff, like a lack of awareness of the larger social situation. This is also about the hidden agenda of the political mind. This morality that they're portraying themselves as possessing, they don't really possess it. It is the hidden agenda. They want power. This is your basic communist, socialist ploy. This idea that here's this ideology, here's this system of dominance, of control, and it's killed more people than any other force on the planet. And they think that if they could be in charge of it, that they could make it work. So it's just this kind of like imaginary God syndrome. They want to be in charge, and they think if they're in charge and they get to hand out all the resources, that everything is going to be okay. But they don't care about everything being okay. What they care about is them being in charge and having access and control over all of the resources. So when they stand up and they say, this isn't fair, this isn't right, what they're really saying is, I don't care about any of this, just put me in charge. So it's a basic kind of human mistake that we make. Again, it is tied in with all the others, the unwillingness to grow up, the unwillingness to take on responsibility, the idea that a consumer society, that things and objects can actually satisfy us and give us meaning and purpose when they surely cannot. So we're talking about moral grandstanding. We're talking about attacking people's identity, tearing it down. In other words, oh, you're the kind of person who believes in this. Well, we don't like those kind of people. Every interaction with a person like this is a lecture. Every disagreement makes you problematic. They're describing things that they don't understand, that they've seen in a video. They're repeating it back to you, and then they're getting mad at you for not adopting what they themselves don't understand. So, it's like somebody reading to you from a textbook that they don't understand and then quizzing you and testing you and making fun of you for getting the answers right when they don't know a single one of the answers themselves. How exactly I brought that, to social justice warrior is pretty impressive. So what these people are looking for is a political class to abuse. That's all they want. And you can understand that. They want to be in charge. They will invert the values, the function of any meaning, of any system, of any institution. They'll say that they want to fix it, that it's broken on moral and ethical grounds. But that's not what they care about. They just want to use that as an excuse to take control of the situation because they want the resources. So that's what you're dealing with. When you encounter a woman who's been infected with this mind virus, you need to recognize it. Don't be thinking that you can, link up with her if you support her crazy ideological views. It's like, yeah, I agree with you, honey, right? That's a dead end. That's going to lead to a blind alley because there is no agreeing with somebody like that. There is no compromise with somebody like that. Femme fatale 2.0, the modern manipulator. This is why I need to do these videos on a regular basis, right? Because the women are constantly changing, mercurial, chameleon-like. So this is scary because this is your Machiavellian, this is your dark triad situation. This is a woman who is actually better at being a dominating man than most men are. It happens. So this type of a woman, she knows how to play people against each other. It's a constant set of triangulation. It's a constant set of dropping subtle hints and triggers to people and then letting them pick up those memes, those triggers and run them internally. This is a person who can weaponize anything. They can weaponize a conversation. They've totally weaponized sexuality. Sexuality has been completely weaponized in our society. That's why the men have so much approach anxiety, because they know they're walking into a minefield blindfolded. And whether or not they get blown to bits is going to be determined by the emotional state of the woman or the women in their area. The men are walking around on thin ice, filled with cortisol, constantly under attack. You're a pawn in her game, and we sacrifice pawns. They can be really useful towards the end game, but in the beginning, it's just an exchange. When she breaks up with you, you don't just lose your queen, you lose your whole kingdom. It's over. That's the price you have to pay for not doing what she wants. It's not just, oh, we're not getting along, we're not going to be together anymore. It's, I'm going to get you put in jail, I'm going to destroy your life. Oh, you haven't encountered that one yet? Well, give it time. You will. In closing, let me just say, the relationships, they're supposed to add peace and harmony and tranquility to your life, not chaos. They're supposed to be able to help you get the things done that are important to you. And in exchange for that, you're helping somebody else get the things done that are important to them. And there's give and take. You don't get what you want the moment you want it. You put it out there. You ask for compromise. You make adjustments. And in time, you get what you want. But you've got to give to get what you want. We've lost that largely. So remember, you're just a man. You're not a miracle worker. You can't fix these women. Protect your time, protect your sanity, protect your dignity, protect your wallet, because you getting together with the wrong woman, that can destroy your life. Her just coming into your life can destroy your life. She can falsely accuse you and have you put in jail for 7 or 8 years. So let me know what you think about this. Let me know what types of women you've encountered. Like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. Help me out over on Cash App. There's no support to speak out to the men and to speak the truth. You understand how uncomfortable the world is if we tell the truth about women. So support it or we end up losing it. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.